How you guys doing? You all right? I'm confidence coach Jonathan. I've been coaching men now for 10 years, even a bit longer than that, in the area of fear, anxiety, confidence, motivation, and self-improvement. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to change your life when you don't feel ready. Because we all reach points in our life, everybody does, even if we don't want it, where we realize that we need to make changes in our life. We're not happy. Might not be happy in our relationships. We're not happy with our career. We're not happy with our body. We're not happy with ourselves. We're not happy where we live. We're not happy in our friendships, or we're not happy in our habits. It shows up in so many different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you in two ways today that I'm really excited about. The first way is I'm going to use an example from my life, changes that I've made throughout the last 15 years, because I've done a lot of this myself. And I want to take you through more of my story in this area so I could give you the teaching today. You could take away the teaching, you can apply it in your life. So I don't want you to copy me, I don't want you to be me. You have to be uniquely you. But I want you to take some of the principles and the attitudes and the courage that I've exerted to make these changes. And you can make changes in any area of your life. So I always say to people who follow me, try and be more open-minded and not just limit it to your situation, because I want to impact many people in this video. And I want to stress that the teaching I'm going to share is adaptable in any area of your life that isn't working right now. And I'm going to go through that. Once I've told you my story and how I've done it, I'm going to give you some tips and techniques with things that I give clients that have worked 100% for them, and they continuously work. So do bear with me. I don't plan my videos when I do them. I've been speaking for 10 years. I like being natural. I like jumping in and putting myself under this pressure. This is how I can thrive. And I like giving you great energy when you come on my videos, because that's what I like, and I appreciate that. So I'll take you back to a time in my life where I was 27 years age, 27, 28, and I was struggling in my life. Nobody knew this. I wasn't brave enough to tell people that I was struggling. I didn't have a girlfriend, and I wasn't happy about that, and I was lonely, and I didn't have much money. I was in a job. I was grateful. I got an office job, which I wasn't really qualified to get, but the reason I got the job is because I impressed them so much in the interview. But when it come to the actual skills of the job, I wasn't the right person for it, right? I was working on a computer, and I was doing this kind of background screening checks for companies and things like that. I was well out of my depth, but I was glad I did it. So after a month in of the job, I had some challenges. I obviously had like a personal tragedy in the family, a death in the family. It really affected me, right? And the crazy thing is when I was in this job, I knew what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to be a professional dating coach. But at this time, I didn't have a girlfriend. I had no background in business or anything like that, but I just had this. I knew in my heart I could do it. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. But the thing that was holding me back was fear. I was absolutely terrified to pull the trigger and make the decision, because I was afraid that I'd let my parents down. I was afraid that I'd upset my mum and dad, because I had a steady job. I had a good job. I worked in an office, and I was proud of that. But that's not what my heart wanted. I knew deep down I can't do this job. And I went into the toilet for a lunch break. I looked in the mirror and I said, I hate this job. I hate this place. I can't do it. And I was nearly crying. That's how emotional I was. But I remember thinking, I don't have any savings. The only money that was coming was the month pay from this job. And I think they paid me £1,400. I remember making a decision that I'm quitting this job. I'm going to get my £1,400. And I'm going to turn that £1,400 into something even more. And I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow my dreams. But I was so afraid. I was afraid. I had all the fears. Am I good enough? Can I do this? What will I do for money? Or can I get a girlfriend? So I was stuck. So I went through that stage that you're going through right now, where you're constantly going back and forward in your head. Like, I want to move forward, but what if I move forward and I can't make the rent? Or what if I don't meet the right person? Or what if I disappoint my family? You know, and they get upset, and I upset them, and things like that. So I was stuck. I knew what I wanted to do, and what was hard was I didn't have any financial backing. A lot of people get caught there. People use security as an excuse to not move forward. And I knew deep down that I was never going to be financially secure in that moment. I had to build that later on. But one thing where I could find security was in courage. I had to take the action. I had to get past, well, what if it don't work out? Who cares? Who cares if it doesn't work out? I have to do this. I have to jump into it. I have to face death. Not literally death, But identity, as far as your emotions concerned, when you're changing, you've got to face a form of death. The life that you're in, the predicament, that has to die, that has to go, so you can, born into the new chapter. So I knew that. Emotionally, I was terrified psychologically, and I didn't have much support at the time. And that's usually what a lot of people struggle with, which is why having a mentor is so important and why I've changed so many people's lives. The emotional support, if you can get that, you're blessed. If you got it from a family member, from your boyfriend, from your girlfriend, your partner, whoever, if you can get some support, then great. Obviously, this is what my videos are for. So I got to a stage where it's like, I've got to jump into the unknown. I can't be guaranteed this is going to work out. So quitting this job is a big risk. Financially, mentally, security, it's a big risk. But you know what? You know what scared me even more? What's to scare you? I was terrified that I'd never take that risk. And I'd always be that guy that would say, well, what if I could have been one of the best dating and relationship experts in the world? What if I couldn't live it? I couldn't do it. I did it too many years. That would have killed me. So for me, it got to a point where it wasn't about money anymore. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about disappointing people. It was about me following the truth, following my heart. And whatever it took, if that made that my life's going to fall apart. And at the time as well, I didn't have my own apartment. I was living at my parents', and even though my parents are amazing, they're lovely, I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed at 28, I was living at my parents' place. I didn't have a girlfriend, and my financial situation was £1,400. I didn't have much money. But I had passion, I had a desire, and every single night, no one knew this, I'd go online, I'd watch every single video on personal development, on motivation, on dating, and I would be visualizing. I'd go for walks in London, what I'm doing now, but I'd walk around and I would see myself being a successful dating coach. I would see myself financially secure. I would see myself being in love with the girl of my dreams. I would see it. And my mind would come in. It would say, "You're not good enough. You can't do it. You come from a poor family. You're not educated. You're not attractive enough. You got all these social issues." I didn't believe it. My heart would overpower the fears, the insecurities, the voices, the self-doubt, all that stuff. Everyone who put me down. And even when I was trying to make a decision, people around me were going, "How are you going to be a dating coach? Like, how's that going to provide you a full-time living?" Like, I had no support. I had no emotional support, so I had to make the decision by myself. Or at least I thought I had no support. And I started to listen to Les Brown, and I got support from Les Brown. I got some emotional and mental support from him. And I found support through God, through prayer. I prayed to God, I prayed to Jesus. I listened to Les Brown. I found a strength in myself that I never knew I had. And I'm telling you 100%, I've been coaching people for 10 years, you're stronger than you think. You've got a strength in you that you've never used because you've never gone there. You've never took the risk. And that's why most people don't change, because they're so afraid of taking that risk and feeling those emotions. So the technique is, when we get right down to the truth, is you got to jump in, fully commit to it, not protect yourself, not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That doesn't work. That's bullshit. It doesn't work. That's a coward. You have to make a decision. Yep, take some time. You might have to go for a walk. You might take a week. You might have to cry it out. You might have to sing it out. You might have to dance it out, laugh it out. But it gets to a point where you have to say, right, I'm making a decision. I'm quitting my job. I'm starting my own business. And once you make that commitment with this energy, this is the energy I'm showing you today. This is the energy I feel when I fully commit. No one can stop you. Your friends can't stop you. Negative family members, school, conditioning, your childhood. No one can stop you other than you. No one could stop me being the best dating coach in the world. No one could stop me. Only I could stop me. So as soon as I jumped in, I took on my first client. When I first started working, I taught for free, right? Because I wasn't confident to charge. I didn't fully value the fact that I could charge for money. I didn't fully believe it. But it didn't matter to me, because when I started teaching, as soon as I started teaching, I said, this is my purpose. I found it. I'm good at it. I don't even have to think about it. It comes natural. Teachers are born, not made, the same way punchers are born, not made. So the first client I worked with, I got on great. I helped him solve his issues, and he got his first girlfriend. And I knew from then, no one could stop me. The bullies at school, people that put me down, previous employees, criticism, those sorts of negative facial expressions, no one could stop me because I did it. I got the proof. And guess what? I helped this guy for free. It felt so good. And he said to me, "I want to pay you, Johnny." I said, "No." He said, "No, I want to pay you." I said, "Listen, just get me a coffee." He gave me £15. I made my first £15 in 1 hour for doing something that I love and changing someone's life. And it felt so good. It felt so right. And when I made that £15, I went away And I started to think, well, if I can make £15 an hour, I can continue, I can build my own business. I'll never ever have to work for some boss who's a fucking arsehole. Just getting some passion out there, it's nice. And I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm not going to work for some fucking arsehole telling me what to do, treating me like shit, making me feel that I'm disgusting, and pushing me and bullying me because he's using financial security to bully me. Fuck that. I deserve more, I'm better than that. Anyway, back to being calm. So, I just kept working one step at a time, and I was developing myself. Every time I faced fear, I felt more confident. Every time I faced the fear, I didn't care what people thought about me. Every time I faced fear, my financial situation started to improve. Guess what happened? The most amazing girl come into my life when I didn't expect it. When I first met her, I didn't fancy her. Can you believe it? She didn't fancy me. I mean, I can't believe that. Obviously, she got her thinking straight, and she could obviously see I was handsome. I fell in love with her. I'm so grateful for meeting her because we changed each other's lives. We were dating for about a year, just casually. And she told me one day that she loves me and she doesn't want me to date other people. And I said, I love you as well. It was a beautiful love story. It's a true story. And this woman supported me. She said to me, I believe in you. You can do this. You're great. You're so good with people. You can make money. You can be successful. And I was the same. And I became successful in 18 months. 18 months I went from a guy that didn't believe in himself, had £1,400 in his account. I was afraid. And guess what? We moved into our own place. I got a girlfriend. I moved into my own place with her. And I became financially free. And I did it. Now, some of you might be thinking, was it hard? This is crazy. It weren't hard. What was hard was convincing myself that I could do it. So it wasn't hard when I done it, it was easy. When I did it, I said to myself, why did you take so long? It wasn't that hard. Do you know what was hard? Living a shit life, living a life of misery, despair, living a life where you're living for the opinions of other people. You're a people pleaser. You're so afraid, you're a coward. That was hard. That was the hardest part for me, the pain, the agony. So, you know, it's a mindset, it's a mentality, and you've got to be extremely brave. And I was very brave, and you've got to be fully vulnerable. And obviously it's a calculated risk, so it was an intelligent risk. So I thought it over, and things just got better and better. My finances got better, and I just kept teaching. The business grew, and as I got better, more confident, I valued myself. I put my prices up. I charge whatever I want per hour or wherever, and it just felt so good. So that's an area of my life where I made many changes within one decision. Like I said, I had a place. I had to go to my parents and take my girlfriend there, and that wasn't comfortable for me initially because I was shy, but it worked out in the end. So that's the power. If I didn't push myself, I never would have attracted her. If I didn't push myself, I never would have attracted the apartment with her. So obviously I played my part, God played his part. So if you play your part, I respect other people's faith. You might believe in God, you might not. That's nothing to do with me. You'll be helped out if you play your part, but you've got to toughen up, you've got to man up, you've got to face the fear, or you've got to woman up, because it's not going to change. And not many people are going to tell you the truth. I tell you the truth because it's what I was born to do. And I tell the truth whether I'm paid to do it, which I get paid very well, and sometimes I do it because it feels right and it's not paid. Today it's not paid, and it feels great to give it to you for free. Don't waste this information. Don't waste it. So that's how I did it. And it gets easier. It's not as bad as you think. The mind lies. People lie. Fear lies. Ego lies. It says that I won't handle it. I used to think that. You don't know what you can handle until you put yourself in that situation, and then you're forced to use tools that are within yourself that you didn't know you had. Most people have got tools that they're carrying every day, amazing tools. They've never used the toolbox because they allow fear to get in the way and excuses. You cannot say it's not the right time. It's never the fucking right time. It's never the right time to make changes. You have to change your relationship with time. It's time that messes people up. People say things like, I'm going to leave this bad relationship when I get a six-pack. That could take ages. Or I'm going to change my job when I save a few more £1,000. It's all bullshit. Change it now, make the money back. Make the changes now, because you're never going to do it. You're going to waste 20 years in the same place. What's the point? Life's too short to be in a place that you don't enjoy. Take the risk. It's worth it. You'll grow. And do you know what's crazy? It doesn't matter if you fail in every area. You will feel, your soul will feel great because it's following what it's meant to do. And then all the other things come, the material things come, but you have to take the action. Right, so that's my story, that's how I did it. Now, when I'm working with someone who's got bad anxiety and they want to make changes and they're afraid, one of the techniques that I use is gradually doing exposure therapy. So let's say, for example, someone doesn't like their job and they want to do my business coaching and set their own business up, but they're petrified, right? They've not really faced much fear. Well, I'll get them to face a few small fears, maybe take them out, get them to say hello to a couple of strangers, because that's scary. So I'm gonna help them and teach them to build up their tolerance to dealing with stress, fear, anxiety, change, threat, unknown trauma. So we gradually get into it. It's the same what the boxers do when they done for me down the boxing gym. They couldn't put me straight in because I wasn't ready. But I got in and they did some light sparring, just to the body, just some body stuff, light stuff. And I got a bit more confident, and then we'll go to the head, and then we go all out. So you don't have to do it all in one go. You can slowly just get used to putting yourself out there. So that's a technique that I use for my clients. The second technique that I want to give you is you have to ignore the negative people. When you're trying to make changes in your life, and there's negativity in you. There's always negativity in you. There was negativity in me, and a lot of us don't want to own that. You have to own it. I had a lot of negative energy inside me that was stopping me from changing. So it will attract. You'll get a projection of that. So you gotta look and go, hang on a minute, what's the negativity in me? The moaning, the complaining, the excuse making, the blaming everybody else, the projection. I need to take responsibility, otherwise it's not going to change. And you need to start distancing yourself from negative conversations. I eradicated these types of conversations. What are you going to do if you quit your job and try and be a dating coach? What if it doesn't work out? How will you pay the rent? Where's the money going to come from? What will your parents think? What will other people think? All negative, not helpful, all cowardly. You know, one coward in an army of brave men could ruin a whole army. You got an army of 20 people, and we've got one coward in that army, and that coward can infect everybody with fear and destroy them. You have to be disciplined. You have to value yourself. You have to learn to say no to people. Most people can't say no. That's too polite. So I'm all about being kind, considerate, but also boundaries. So you have to remove yourself. You have to listen to motivational messages every day to clean out the negative, because these negative voices are so strong. They're going to come in, they're going to talk to you, they're going to try and trick you, they're going to blackmail you, they're going to shame you, they're going to guilt you. You've got to be strong. You've got to be strong. And when you make that commitment and that focus, you out-strength. So it's a fight. It's a fight for territory. As Les Brown said, anything that's of any value to you is going to be a fight. It's not going to come easy. So it's a mental and emotional battle. It's amazing. A lot of people fear this. I loved it once I started doing it. Your mind will lie to you. Your mind will tell you that you won't like it. It's going to feel unsafe. You won't be able to. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Your heart will love it. Your spirit will love it. Your soul will love it, because it's the right thing to do. So it's having the intelligence to go, hang on a minute. This is all lies. This is all part of fear tricking me. I'm not good enough. No one believes in me. It's never going to work out. I've look at the failures in my life. You've got to ignore all that. We've all got failures in our life. The first 15 years of my life was a tragedy, failure, pain, shame, embarrassment. Do you know what I've done? I used all that as motivation, and that's something that I help my clients do. I want to help you to do today. Let's get fucking real and talk about what's real. Let's not bury it. You're ashamed. You're embarrassed. You have self-hatred. You don't feel good enough. We're going to take all that. We're going to take all that, and we're going to bring it in. And we're going to breathe, and we're going to be calm, and we're going to say, right, how can we do something amazing with this? As my mentor Jeff would say, how can he would say, which I love, how can I use this energy and make something brilliant and beautiful with it? Well, you do it by bringing in your emotions, being aware, going, I'm angry, I have jealousy, I'm hurt, I'm ashamed, all these things that have happened to me. That is your fuel. That is the very fuel you need to take massive action. As another great man would say, Anthony Robbins, massive action, focus, massive action. And as I was going to say Johnny Berber then, but that guy's died. And my real name is Jonathan. Jonathan would say, when you become fearless, your life becomes limitless. Courage, heart. And these are simple things, but it's getting past the mind. The mind makes it complicated, so you don't do it. My teaching is simple. That's why I change people's. My coaching is very simple. But it doesn't mean it's easy, which is why when you apply it, you get so much confidence and self-esteem, because it's simple and it's direct, it's no bullshit, and it does what it says on the tin, and it works in any area of your life. And my teaching is face the fear. Stop bullshitting, stop making excuses, stop using time. People love time as a way of getting out of it. Your mind will do everything to get you out of facing what you need to face. Face it today, face it tomorrow, and you'll have a better life. I've never had such a peaceful life, from jumping into terror, anxiety, stress. And that's when the shame starts going away and the self-hate. You start to love yourself. You start to appreciate yourself. You start to believe in yourself. And the more you put yourself through the challenges, the more the belief comes. So it's massive action. I would also say another thing that I've done, and I do it for my clients, and I'm a huge believer in writing confession. Get a piece of paper, or get your phone, or get a board, write down what you want to achieve. I wrote my goals down. They were private years ago. They're not private no more, I share them. I want to get a girlfriend and fall in love. Goal number 1. Goal number 2, I want to make money doing a job that I love. Goal number 3, I want to change people's lives and be a professional teacher, be a coach. Every goal I achieved. Every goal. Why? Because I wrote the goal down. I visualized, as Les Brown said, you know, you got to be willing to give up your sleep for it, to work day and night for it, to put up a fight for it. I just write it down. Write it down. Think about it. Don't put it off. The mind will go, oh, I don't want to write it down. Our goals are not important. It's the mind tricking you. You don't want. It's fear. It's the coward in you. It's the little coward in you. It's the weak person. You're better than that. Don't be weak. It doesn't pay to be weak in this way. There is a good weakness and there is a bad weakness. And putting things off is a coward. There's nothing respectable like that. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be braver, because you're never going to like yourself if you don't do what I'm saying. Take action in your life. And you know that deep down. You know I'm telling the truth. You know this in your own heart. But sometimes you need to hear it from someone else so you're able to look at it. And it's fun. It's exciting. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. The biggest fear is not doing it. I could not live, guys, with the consequences of staying the way I was, because I hated how I was. I hated how I was living. I was a complete pussy. I was a coward. In every area I was failing. Guess why? Because I weren't trying. I was just playing it safe, staying in one place, being in my comfort zone. So it's the passion. Focus is number 1, what we need right now. We need focus. And how do we get focus? We need to have the right goals from the right values. What is your goal right now? Let me know in the box below. What is it that you want to change, but you're afraid to change, or you're stuck, or you're not able to, or people are putting you down, crabs in a bucket pulling you down? And the great thing is, you know what happens? When you go towards following your heart, you meet good people. I've attracted great people in my life, kind people, honest people, sincere people, encouraging people. When you're around people that are living their dreams, it rubs off on you. It can't, even an idiot, even a fool would have to change the way he's thinking and benefit from that energy. When you're around negative people, it brings you down. It makes you feel like you're crap. That's how I used to feel. But of course, if you want to be around great people, positive people, you've got to work on yourself. And the way you work on yourself is by doing what I've said in this video throughout the last 22 minutes. So in any area. So write the goals down. Be honest, make it simple. Usually people have got they've got a main goal that's in their heart, their purpose. Within the main goal, there's usually a couple secondary, thirdly goals. So write the 3 goals down. And like I said, I'm going to keep saying it, even in this video. It's going to challenge you. Your mind's going to rebel against what I'm saying. Your mind's going to go, yeah, but how? But what? No, you can't listen to that. Listen, there's a certain part of the journey that we can't know. We can't know everything. It wouldn't be fun. So you know, like I knew in my heart I could be a successful person. I knew that I could overcome my issues and get a girlfriend and be attractive to women. I knew I could overcome social anxiety. I knew I could be a great public speaker. I knew I could be a writer. But there were certain aspects that there was the unknown. And we've all got to face that. We can't know everything. It wouldn't be fun. And that's where faith comes in. That's where belief comes in. And you've got to take a risk. No risk, no reward. Most people want the reward. They don't want the risk. I say this to my clients. If you want the reward, you've got to take the risk. You can't sit here going, well, I'm afraid to go and ask that woman out because she might say no. You're done, man. You're done. If you've got that mentality and you live by that, it's over, it's done. It's finished. You're not going to get nowhere. You can't say, what if I quit my job and then the business don't work out and I can't pay the rent? You're finished, man. You're finished. You might as well sell the house. That's a loser's mentality. That's the trick of the ego. It will say, well, if you quit your job, how will you pay the rent? You'll fucking pay the rent by working hard, by getting in a good place and making the money. By being a good person and adding value and being honest and having good integrity, you will attract the money. Whether it comes in a week, a month, or 6 months, you will make that. If you want to make money, you will make money. I must have a little bit of fun here, yeah? Money doesn't make me, I make money. I'll say that again, it's good affirmation. Money doesn't define me. Money doesn't make me, I make money off the back of being a good person and changing people's lives, creating products, being a teacher. So money doesn't make me, I make money. And that's the same for you. Have a good attitude about money. Don't let money, people let money imprison them. People don't live their dreams because of money. because they got a bad relationship or because of negative people. Oh, I want to do my dreams, but my partner won't support me. Well, get rid of them then. What kind of partner is that? I will not have a partner who doesn't support my dream or gets in the way of it. They are gone. Like it says in Rocky, dropping them like a bad habit. They're out of there. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Fair, kind, firm. I'm not having it. Life's too short. So it's a mentality, it's an attitude, and you can change. Your mind's going to say you can't change, you can change. So these are all the things that you need to do, and it may sound like a lot. It's not a lot. Do you know what it is? It's one thing. It's stop being a fucking little coward. It's finding your courage, and it's exercising it, all right? Hope you got a lot out of that, and good luck with changing your life. Fearless.